What if the very thing that sets you apart is the key to everything you're striving for? Welcome to Uncommon Edge, the podcast for those who are done with the ordinary and ready to own what makes them different. I'm DJ Neumann, and if you're here, it's because you know you're built for more. You're uncommon by design, ready to break boundaries and build a life of purpose, success, and impact. Each week, we'll dive into hard-hitting strategies, raw stories from the trenches, and the tools that will sharpen your edge. From game-changing lessons to deep-diving interviews, this is your space to rise up, build, and make your mark. Whether you're growing a business, dreaming of starting one, or looking to level up in life, you'll leave each episode with insights and inspiration to make it happen. You weren't designed to blend in, you were designed to stand out. So if you're ready to defy the norm and bring out your best, let's dive in, get to work. Your journey to owning your uncommon edge starts now. What if I told you that the secret to unlocking your edge isn't doing more, but actually it's doing less and doing it with laser focus? Most people let their days run them, chasing distractions and busy work, but not you. You are here to take control, sharpen your focus, and make progress where it matters most. Welcome back, Edge Seekers. I'm DJ Neumann, and this is the Uncommon Edge. All right, guys, here's a stat that blew my mind. I was just thinking about this and started reflecting back towards some of the stuff that I might be doing on a regular basis. And this is the stat. Studies have shown that the average worker is only truly productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes a day on average. I don't know how they get these numbers, but this is what they're saying, 2 hours and 53 minutes. What happens the rest of the time? It gets eaten up by distractions, procrastination, and tasks that don't even move the needle, don't matter. At least it doesn't matter as much as we think. And that's not going to be us. Today, we're flipping that script. I'm coming up with some tips from the Grindstone, because think about it. A lot of the stuff that we're doing is during the grind, applying the things that we're learning, applying the things that were going on, and that's called getting into the grind. And I figured the Grindstone could be a great way to start bringing out some real quick applicable things that you can start doing to bring out your uncommon edge. So remember back in episode 1 where we talked about Cyclops getting his focus really sharp on the lasers that are coming out of his eyes, and he went ahead and was able to focus that and just blow through, right? Well, that's what I'm going to be doing with you here right now. I'm going to give you the spectacles that he had to get laser focused on what it is that is going to just blow through your stuff. Sharpening session is going to start right now. It all starts with, I want you to get out a pen and paper. If you're driving, take mental notes. But if you are in a spot right now where you can actually work through something with me, I want you to do this. You might want to save this episode as well if focus has been a weak point for you, and maybe this is something we need to sharpen together. And mind you, this entire episode, I am calling myself out because I am telling you, this has been a uphill battle for me my entire career. I've gotten a lot better at this over the years, but I still struggle with this on a day-to-day basis. But this tool that I'm about to unveil for you has been a massive game changer in leveling up the focus. The first part of it, the first step, is getting out a sheet of paper and doing the mental purge. I'm talking like brain dump everything. Your mind isn't meant to be a storage unit. It's actually meant to be a problem solver, and holding on to everything you need to do just creates clutter and stress. I need you to just do a mental purge. It's like cleaning out the junk drawer in your brain, like writing down all the tasks, ideas, and worry about, getting them out of your head so they're not swimming around. Don't filter it. Don't judge it. Just dump it Dump it like the drunk drawer. You don't need that slinky in there anyway. You've had it, been holding on to it forever, and it's time to just dump it. Think of this also as a reset button. Like once we get all this stuff down onto paper, it's like you just did a deep cleaning and you're able to focus on what actually really matters. This is a really powerful exercise. If you haven't done it before, I really, really, really encourage you to sit down and take the time. A blank page of paper is probably one of the most powerful tools. There's something that happens. I don't know the science behind it, but when you put pen to paper, it does something different than if you're typing it or whatever. It allows you to free flow right from your subconscious. So at this point, you should have a list of all the different things that they're coming on. It could be things that are related to family, business, friends, tasks that need to get done, deadlines that need to get done, projects. You got to pick up the groceries, all the things. Write them all down. Now that you've got them on a sheet of paper, and if you need to pause, that's fine. Pause me and then hit play once you got it. But by this point, you should have it. You got all the things. Then I want you to pick the big 3. What are your big priorities? Not everything on your list is created equal. And some things move you forward down the field a little more. It gives you some more yardage than others. And some things just keep you busy. And busy doesn't always necessarily translate into success. Matter of fact, I'd argue quite the opposite. Some of the people that I've had an opportunity to meet, I've noticed their focus and ability to get things done actually frees them up. I used to think when I was getting into business, I'd hear, oh, I'm so busy. I got so much going on. I got this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, they got their shit together. But in reality, I found that the most successful people usually have a lot of free time because they've learned how to prioritize and get clear on what they actually want and need and agree on a way to do it and then actually deliver on it, whether that's them doing it themselves or through forms of delegation. But it all starts with this process of doing the mental purge and then picking the big things that need to get done for the day. And if you're able to do this the day before, prepping you for the day, so you're not going into the day for the day to control you, but you're going to control the day, that is where the magic starts to happen. So now you've picked the big 3. Let's call this the top 3 poll. Look at your list right now and pull out the 3 priorities that matter the most to you. These things are the tasks or the projects that actually align with your edge and make a big impact on what it is that you're trying to get done. Look, these aren't just, I don't want this to be a to-do list for you. That's not the intent for this. These are moves that actually push you closer to the goal. I need you to frame the understanding of these are impact moves. This isn't, hey, I got to brush my teeth today, which is probably pretty important to do. But the thing that I need you, and the thing I need you to understand is this is actually supposed to be something that's going to actually push you to growth. And for me, this might be right now finalizing a podcast episode or sending out that super important follow-up email or making that phone call that is going to make all the difference in the world. Spending an hour strategizing on what needs to get done or aligning those priorities and then physically actually doing what I set out to do. These are things that are super important. Once you've gotten those 3 things down, the next thing I'm going to need you to do is break down those tasks. What does it actually mean? Those big priorities can feel really overwhelming. And I've heard this from many different people over the years. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. How do you eat Thanksgiving turkey? 1 bite at a time. Unless you're, Joey Tribbiani, maybe he can get it down in one gulp. Or what was it, Dagwood with the big sub? He would throw it down the gullet. But the way to do that without overwhelming yourself or hurting yourself is take it 1 step at a time. So that's why we break down the main priorities into bite-sized tasks. When you see the path clearly, you're more likely to take action. It's like this. It's like going up the stairs. If you take it one stair at a time, you're guaranteed to get up there. But if you try to jump 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps up, you might make it happen, or most likely you're going to fall backwards and probably do some damage. If your priority is launching a website or something along those lines, or getting some copy down, or putting together that training thing for your staff, or whatever it might be, just understand that you can break that thing down. Like, what does that mean? What does that big picture mean? If it's a training thing that you got to get done, break that down into different things. Hey, do I got to write the transcript out? Do I got to do some research, maybe some brain mapping, whatever it might be? Figure that out. And maybe you've never really looked at it like that before. And it's like, man, I'm going to spend more time planning this thing out. No, that's not the point. The point is you're going to organize your thoughts so when you do hit the ground running, you are rubber to the road, and it's cruising at high speeds because you've actually planned it out. And now that you've got the priorities down, and I know I'm going through this kind of fast, and you're going to have to pause a few times, but once you got those priorities down, you got them like clearly outlined on the things that you need to do. This is where the magic comes in. I need you to set aside 3 2-hour blocks in your day. Remember how I said earlier in this thing, like the average person only gets truly productive work for 2 hours and 53 minutes in a day? We're going to amplify that, and we are going to do 3 2-hour blocks. That's getting you 6 hours a day, over doubling what the average person does. And this is the other thing. What they don't tell you in that stat is most of the people in that 2 hours and 53 minutes are not being productive on the things that actually matter. So now we're doubling the amount of time, getting it focused, and now we're going to actually leverage that time to get the most out of it. This is how you sharpen your edge. This is how you're going to get the most out of it. And before you knock it, I just encourage you, just try it. Just try it. You know, most people think that, you know, they're multitasking, but in reality, they're just switching tasks, jumping from one thing to another without ever getting into flow. Deep dive blocks change that. And I want you also to understand that we're doing 3 2-hour blocks, giving you 6 hours. Most of us have 8 hours in an average workday. So when we're doing this, we're planning for those unexpecteds. We're allocating 25% of your day to the firefighting intentionally, because otherwise it ends up becoming an excuse. And trust me, I'm talking to myself. I wish I had a mirror right in front of me right now, and I'm just pointing and glaring, because if you're anything like me, there's been times where you go in with the best of intentions for the day, and next thing you know, you're like, man, I'm going to get that thing done. And then the phone call happens. And then the person walks into the office, or that customer calls or comes to you with a problem, and it totally derails your entire day. And this is going to get a little more intentional with that. We're going to actually plan for those interruptions and how it is. And what you permit is what you promote. See, when you drop everything to work on everybody else's problems, that ends up taking away from what you got going on. And if it takes away from what you got going on, it limits the help that you can actually do to help people around you. So these deep dive sessions, like, this is where you're going to really, really commit to 2-hour blocks for each of the big 3 priorities. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure focus on sharpening that priority, sharpening that edge, and getting it done. And if you're like me and this is a struggle for you, maybe you got some ADHD going on, or you just, have the 1,000,001 notifications popping off on your phone, and maybe you catch yourself doom scrolling or whatever it might be. I need you to get those distractions away for this time, and understand your future self is going to thank you for this. As someone who's actually used this system, and I know the power that it can wield. And this is that like first lesson of how to start throwing around that edge, that thing that's going to actually make it matter. Why does it matter though? Let's face it. I mean, some of these days go off the rails if you're anything like me, and that's why you need to have one non-negotiable, something that absolutely has to get done no matter what. So now that we're going into these time blocks and you're doing the thing, sometimes things can happen, and we got to be realistic. But I want you to have at least one non-negotiable for the day. Like, what is that thing that I don't care what happens, I'm not going home today until that thing gets done? Heck, matter of fact, this episode that I'm recording right now was one of my non-negotiables. I ain't going home until this gets done. And I'm here late at night tonight getting this done because I know this is going to be impactful to somebody, and somebody here needs to hear it. If it's you, man, see, that impact is going to be there for you. And I hope this boils down for you. And now there's also the follow-ups that have to happen. This is important as well. The people, like, who do you need to follow up with today? Who are you waiting on? This is an entire system that allows you to get the most out of your day. See, your edge is your anchor. It's your one must do for the day. And if nothing else gets done, this is the task that you'll hang your hat on, and you can go to bed feeling better about yourself. Because if you've ever been like me, there's been days where it has gone off the rails. And you decided, all right, going home, tomorrow's another day. And then you toss and you turn at night. You're like, man, I should have done this, or I could have done that, or I can't believe this happened, or whatever. This system eliminates that because you got your one non-negotiable done at a bare minimum. But I want you to get more done than that if possible. I want you to get all three of your priorities moving forward, moving the ball forward, because otherwise you become a victim to your day, and it's either going to be one day or today's going to be day one, and I want you to really move the ball. So if this is something you've not done before, make today day one, doing the thing, getting it done. And this matters because focus is the ultimate sharpening stone. That's why without even the sharpest edge gets dull. Like if you don't have this whole grinding done, or the sharpening stone, like the grindstone, and applying this. But when you use this framework, you'll start to see momentum in your business, in your life, in your goals. And I'm not expecting you to be perfect out of the gate. If this is something new to you, if you've never heard of this before, this concept of brain dumping, and then picking out your your most valuable tasks, and then, following up with the people that you need to follow up on, and getting clear on who you're waiting for, and then having non-negotiables for your day. If this is all new to you, it's not going to be perfect off the rip. I'm telling you, it's like riding a bike. The first time you rode the bike, you probably fell a handful of times, and it's okay. I want you to fail forward. But get back up and do it again. It's going to get better. And you're going to learn from the day before. Failure is just first attempt in learning. That's all fail stands for, is first attempt in learning. So think about all the things that you need to get done, and use this framework to help you out. Here's the thing. It isn't about being perfect. You're going to have days that are off, and that's okay. And this is just going to help you like get on when the track is messy in life. It's going to help you get back on track. It's going to help you do the thing. So, if you've been listening to all the episodes, you heard me talk about like underdog stories and stuff like that earlier. Think about the greatest underdog stories. And the common thread isn't talent. It's focus. The people who succeed are the ones who zero in on what matters and blocks out the noise. And you really got to block out the noise, because I heard a stat that just the slightest distraction can throw you off 25 minutes. So think about that. You block this 2 hours off, and you get in, you're in your first half hour, and somebody calls you or rings you or steps into your office, and then you get to talking about something else, and then you lost your focus and you got to get back. It takes you like 25 minutes to get back on track. Start understanding that and setting up the non-negotiables with the people around you. Whether you realize it or not, you train people how to treat you. And what you permit, you promote. I've already said that here. What you permit, you promote. If you allow distractions, the distractions will continue to come. And tonight or today or wherever you're listening, I don't know if you're working out or if you're in the car or you're at your desk or whatever you're doing, try a mental purge. Just write everything down in your mind. Pick your top 3, map out your tasks for tomorrow. Just do that tonight, getting ready for tomorrow, and set a deep edge dive for one of those priorities and see how it feels. What's one area of life where you've been spreading yourself thin? And what would happen if you just focused a little bit more on those things? Does this help you? Does this not? I don't know. I hope it does, because I know it's helped me. So ask yourself that question. What is that one thing? And then what is the one non-negotiable move that you're going to accomplish tomorrow? Or better yet, today. If you're listening to this and there's still time left in the day, what's your non-negotiable for today? Don't be the procrastinator that you've been in the past. If you ever heard that funny phrase, procrastinators unite tomorrow. Let's not do that. Let's do the one non-negotiable. What's the thing that you need to get done today? Look, remember, sharpening your edge requires focus. And focus is sharpening your edge. Stand out, guys. Stay sharp and own what makes you extraordinary. Until next time, I'll see you then.